It's happened. The chops has finally been trusted with some press bikes. My wildest dreams have come true. Aprilia have lent me a Tuono factory for a week. So I'm going to be doing lots of reviews of this bike in a week. I've done a review on this bike before, just taking it out for an hour and whizzing it about. It's great. You can't really get to know the bike within an hour though. I'm going to do a series of reviews, 2 or 3 videos, all about the Tuono, going into more detail of the electronics, how it all works, how it feels to ride, any little niggles which sort of come apparent the more you use the bike. So stick around. If you're not already, subscribe. Plenty of cool vids to come. This is 175 brake horsepower. This is, I think, about 112 newton meters of torque. This has the sensational Aprilia V4 motor, the same as in the RSV4, but the RSV4 is only a 1 litre. This is an 1100, so it's just got more torque than the RSV4, but less top-end power. This has also, of course, got upright bars. The factory version has the Olin suspension. The non-factory has regular Sachs suspension. So the main difference really between the factory and the standard and the R model is the suspension. The factory also has the RSV4 back end, so it's got less of a passenger seat. So if you want to take passengers, then the R model is probably better because it's got a better, larger rear passenger seat. But there's only £1,000 difference in price. This is 15,999. This is 16,000. The R model is 14,999. So it's only £1,000 extra, and you've got the full Olin setup. So if you don't want to take pillions, then definitely the factory really is the way to go. It's the way to go. Get the factory. I mean, this has cruise control, pit limiter, traction control, anti-wheelie, slide control, blipper, quick shifter up. It has got all of the latest toys, TFT dash, all of the latest toys. But this bike is actually an old design. This bike came out in 2007. The frame and the engine of this bike came out in 2007 as the RSV4. So the actual frame and engine is quite an old design now. It's not the most modern. I mean, this bike doesn't have LED indicators. This doesn't have LED headlights. So even though it's got the latest gadgets, it's still behind in some of the fundamentals. Jesus. It's a hell of an intimidating bike. Traction 2, let's put a bit more traction control on as we've got brand new rubber. Beautiful thing about the traction control on this is it all just works down here. You've got these little paddles, plus and minus, either side of the throttle grip, which will just on the fly, and I've got it set to adjust traction control at the moment. Well, we're going to do a full video of how all the controls work with the layout on the dash and how you move through the modes to adjust the traction control. That's going to be a future video. We'll save that. We'll save that. That quick shifter is so silky smooth. I think it could be the best production fitted quick shift I've ever tested. Anti-wheelie is off. Yep, anti-wheelie's off. Sounds heavenly. These are the best brakes in the business. These M50s with the 330mm discs is the top line in braking. They are phenomenon. Around town it's fine. I know this is a good test, you know. It's a little bit at very low revs, a little bit on and off, and a little bit of transmission lash, a bit like your chain's a bit loose, but it isn't. I think it's just a characteristic of this engine, but we're talking below 3,000 revs. Once you're out of that range, it's absolutely fine. Is that initial? It's not too bad actually. Maybe it's worse in a higher gear. Let's try third. You hear that? There's like a slight delay between the power being engaged, as if the chain's slack, but it's not. But that's my only criticism. Apart from that, the low down power delivery is really nice. And for Euro 4, again, it's mapped very well. It is so quick handling. It is so responsive. I mean, it's not particularly like this either. We will get it in some proper twisty soon. This isn't my review of the handling, weaving up and down the road like that. I'm just saying that it changes direction quickly. That's all we can say at this stage. We will get a chance to put it through its paces properly on the English country roads. Whoa! So good! Woo! The hardest thing with this bike is keeping the speeds down. This thing absolutely eggs you to open it up. I've never ridden a bike like it, apart from perhaps the RSV4, for egging you on. It's just that engine, it's intoxicating. It just makes you want to open it up. Oh. You need superhuman self-control, I think, to ride one of these on the road and get away with it. Man, this bike's good. I absolutely love these. I've been on this for a couple of hours now. Well, if that really, and already I'm falling in love with it. It's gorgeous! It's gorgeous! You have to have the self-control of a saint to ride one of these. I'm no saint. I just touched the throttle! It may be a road bike, but it definitely thinks it's a race bike. Just listen to it. How lucky am I? How goddamn lucky am I?